me know if you need this larger or smaller. Okay. So guys, welcome to week 1, ETEC 214. This course used to be called NRGY 214, but and it might change again. It looks like energy technology, electronics technology, maybe information technology at the U will merge with pre-engineering, which is in physics. That might be something that comes down the line with energy being a track, electronics being a track, and information tech being a track. So anyway, 214, energy storage and distribution. This is a required course for your degree in energy technology. I won't no secrets. This has been a very challenging course for a lot of students, it's not designed to be one of those engineering, like a weeder course, like you might hear sometimes in engineering curricula. It's really about putting a lot of the physics concepts that we've covered in SCN 175, SCN 176, NRGY 102, and NRGY 101 together, along with some of the other engineering concepts we've gone over, and then using the skills that you've learned in CSCI 172 with spreadsheeting, as well as the summary 3 from 101 and 102 together into a cohesive unit. And it's not a capstone course, but it's really a course now where the different ways that we talk about energy and quantify energy should be very clear in your mind, and now we're just sort of exchanging those. So as you can see here on the website, we've got Ma and Pa out on the farm trying to harvest harvest some energy from nature, and they've got their lightning jars, and in some ways that's really what, especially in Montana, that's really what energy storage and distribution. What energy is out there in nature, and how do we then harvest and store it? The jar method, as you probably know, is sort of a fantasy, but on the other hand, the idea here is how do we use diverse energy sources to create sort of sustainable ranches, residences, businesses, etc. Okay, so I've got the course open. I just want to sort of see where we are in terms of availability. Are you able to see all the weeks? Do you know, Joe, from your student view? Okay, so all the weeks are there. Everything's open. But what I'd like to do right now is spend about an hour. I'm going to do a pair of 30-minute sessions, just kicking off week 1. I see I've got 4 unread posts, so I'll dig into those. We'll go over the syllabus, and then do a few example problems. And I know there was a couple students that had questions. I can just do those right now, and any deadlines that you might have missed so far, I'll just extend those to the following week, since we're off to a little bit of a slow start this semester, so no big deal there. Okay, so let me just get into the unread posts first. Most of this might just be intros. Struggling through some of the stuff. Brad, time, are you thinking? Okay, so just to respond right now. So Joe, it's 4 o'clock right now on Tuesday, and we're going to meet either in my office or in another little conference room here on campus. So that'll be me meeting on Tuesdays. Excuse me. And Joe, are you going to try to meet Wednesday?
Yeah,
afternoons?
or whenever people are available.
Okay.
My schedule is pretty flexible.
Okay, super. So I figured if I did something Tuesday, if you guys want to meet as a student group Wednesday, and if you want to meet again on Thursday, I'm happy to come back in the evenings and kind of wrap things up for the week. But those are my sort of 3 available days on campus. So Sean, I'd love to see a lecture on this stuff too. It's coming. I'm not going to do a live stream today, but I'd be happy to put a live stream up there for you, Sean, next week, so we can just get you in the classroom on Blackboard so you can actually ask questions live. And then if you want to, Sean, if you want to, shoot me a little message and say, please post the Blackboard, collaborate, and we'll get that two-way stream going. That stuff's it's pretty robust now. Okay, so forum 1. Hopefully I answered those 2 questions. Study group, that's from Joe. Let's see what Sean Warner has to say. I think I might finish the assignment. Might be redundant. Best I can figure out. Multiplying the 3 numbers together, left answer red. Okay. Changing. Oh, this is Doty. What happened to Warner? Don't mind. Okay, so that's. Okay, super. Well, it sounds like both. Well, anyway, glad everyone's in the room and phone numbers are flying. That's a good thing. Okay, good communication. And then I guess I already promised Sean an answer to some of his questions, so might as well just get right into it. I mean, that's really what this course is about. It's just solving problems. So let's. And Sean already gave me permission to embarrass him in front of the class. Now, what I'm looking at here, so this is a PDF. It looks like it's a PDF of an Excel spreadsheet, I'm assuming anyway. And right off the bat, one thing I want to say is that it looks like you've done a nice job at least labeling everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, gallon jug, 12-volt battery, recyclable plastic, newspaper. Neat. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do right now, just kind of thinking out loud. I'm going to print this out so that I'm not so I can sort of have a little cheat sheet next to me, and then I'll dive right back in to the shell and just go through a few of them. I'm not going to do every single problem, but what I will do is just give you a few pointers. So I'll pause it for one quick second while I go get that off the printer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what we're doing now, I just got a copy of Doty's homework. So Sean, thank you for weighing in. And what I'm going to do is just start right from the top, go through a couple problems, give you a few tips and tricks, if you will, on solving these things. And I also want to say, hopefully the way that Fraser has laid this out is not too confusing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of start from scratch a little naively, click on week 1. The trick here is that assignment 1 is not under assignment 1. Right. It's actually in week 1, so that's the first trick to figure out.
The other class I have, it's the other way around.
Yeah. So there's no. I mean, everybody uses Moodle a different way, and I apologize. There's no standard, but I'm not in charge here, so and I'm not about to dictate to people how they run their courses. The other thing, I'll just say right now on the camera. So I'm going to leave Al Fraser's name in there. I'm teaching 214 this semester, but chances are he'll be back in the saddle next year, so I'm just going to leave that one alone. Okay. And so everyone's like, well, there's no textbook for the class. Well, you can print this. The way Alan laid this out, it's actually in a Moodle app called a book. So theoretically, you could go into Moodle and push print, and the book that he's created would print out. So if you really want to do that, I haven't done it, but in theory, that's what this version of Moodle is about. And Alan was pretty proactive in turning his into a book that if you really wanted to, you could hit print and it would come out. I'm not sure in all one chunk or not, but that's the way he set it up. Here's another thing. And Sean, you've followed directions well. You pasted an image of your spreadsheet into a PDF. That's the appropriate way to that's the appropriate way to share your work, because the problem with sharing your Excel is then, somebody just copies the whole thing. The nice thing about the PDF is, well, I can see what the answer might be. You don't necessarily know if it's right or wrong, and you certainly don't know what the formula is. It's the formulation that this course is all about. And so it's really, taking the word problem, turning it into an algebra problem, and then solving it. I mean, that's really what every single one of these problems is about. Okay, so thanks for not posting your Excel spreadsheets. You may post either a JPEG image or a PDF like Sean did. That's fine. When you do turn your assignments, though, I do need to see them either in XLS or XLSX. Also, do not submit multiple spreadsheets, just use multiple tabs. So let me show you the way to do that. If I just open up Excel, the way I would do it, this is just be problem 1, problem 2.
That's highlighted down.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And then in terms of your name, Fraser Learning Unit 1 XLS. So if I go to save this thing, File, Save As. Let's get into here. My documents. Here's courses. Here's ETEC 214. Here's Learning Unit 1. And I'm just going to name this. Look at Dodie. He's on it. Okay, so Layton LU1 XLS. So Learning Unit 1 will have problem 1, problem 2, and as many problems as there are. So.
How does that come out in a PDF?
Oh, well, what I have, and let's just, what I have on my computer, and there might be a way to download this, you can see I actually have an Acrobat tab on my Excel, and I can just click on Create PDF. I can also go over here and save as Adobe PDF.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how it comes out. Is like each tab a different page, or?
Oh, that's a good question.
I've never done multiple tabs in a PDF.
Yeah, I think they give you here. I think they give you some options, so you can do entire workbook, selection, sheets. So I think it'll.
I'll just have to play around.
Yeah, I just say play around a little. And the nice thing about it is you're not wasting paper. You can sort of, the PDF is a good previewer. So, yeah. Okay, so that's that. So that's file naming. Using and so again, you're just using different tabs on the same worksheet. Delineate the space on the spreadsheet clearly. Let's see, Sean, nice job. We've got nice white space in between each one. Clearly label and identify the units of the data for each cell. And it looks like you've done that here. Gallons, Fahrenheit, BTUs, delta T. So far, so good on that, at least at first glance. Also provide a description of the data in the cell. Okay, conversions factor. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Provide an overall problem statement or title block. And I don't know... Well, this is okay, but not great. Typically what most students will do is just take the text. So let's just see here. I can just take this text from, and I'm just sitting in Moodle, right? I'm going to do Control-C, now I'm going to do Alt-Tab. So when I do Alt-Tab, I just hop over here, and then I can do Control-V. Now that ended up kind of weird and ugly because it's way too long.
I usually paste it in a dialog box.
Oh, okay.
You can adjust the size of the box.
Oh, what do you do? Insert?
Yeah.
What do you insert? Like a text box? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Ah, much
and then
better.
You can adjust it.
There we go. Okay. I like that. Yeah, that's nice. Then it's not. We're not going to screw around with. Okay, perfect. So there's one way you can put the problem statement. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, you can put the problem statement on for each one. So there's an example. Nice. Perfect. Thanks. clearly delineate input data from output, and it looks like what Sean has done is labeled his input as yellow and then his output as pink or red. Okay, it says perform all calculations in the spreadsheet. Do not use a calculator to create your own input. Now, one thing I want to say about that is, and this is a problem. That statement right there can be misinterpreted very easily and cost you a lot of time in this class. What you really do want to do first is get out your pencil, get out your paper, and solve the problem by hand. I mean, like really, it's right back to when you first learned to add, subtract, multiply, divide. Do the problem by hand, first on a sheet of paper, and then go in and use your hand calculator, whatever you like, and then plug it into Excel. Because after that, really, what you're doing is copying and pasting your own work, and you've got a hard copy here. The problem with Excel is you screw it up the first time, or even the worst problem is you get it right the first time, and then you go back and screw it up. So having a written copy really for every single sheet is critical. So just go old school with the pencil paper. Now, apply logic and significant digit rules, and right off the bat I can see that Sean, you went a little overboard with the sig digs on that guy. In general, we're going to just stick to 3 significant digits. Most of the problems you're going to encounter, like this, I'm just right here, this 50 degrees Fahrenheit, there's really only 1 significant digit there. 65, there's 2, 15, there's 2. I can see that the number you're coming up with is out with, you're out in the decimal points, but really this number should be answered 626. 3 significant digits is really all you're gonna need on that. Same up here. That's fine. You've got 1, 2, 3 zeros, but then the rest, after you get to 239, you should be done. And that's just a matter of setting significant digits in the spreadsheet. So, for example, I can say right here equals 1 divided by 3. And I get all those 3's, right? Obviously, sort of 3's out to infinity. But if I go in, and the nice thing you can do in Excel is hit Control 1. Control 1 will bring up the format. You're going to want to put that in a number format, and use 2 or 3 significant digits, and then you're done. It's just more legible that way. So that's the sig digs. Format cells. Okay. This class will use English units except for SI. And you can spend all the time you want arguing about that, but sorry, we live in the real world, and you gotta, when in the Americans, you use English units, imperial units. All right. Okay, read course description. I think everyone's done that. Everyone's gotten through the Excel. Again, there are some PDF writers out there. I showed you there's already one built into my Excel. Update your antivirus. Okay. Now, this is this is where we are. This is really the first week's assignment. Create a spreadsheet inventory of at least 10 items in your home or neighborhood that store energy. Some items in your inventory may be more convenient than others. Be sure to include, get that a little bigger so I can read it. Be sure to include all of the following: batteries, hot water tank, fuel in your vehicle, some food, cheese grommet, never heard of it, but okay. If someone has a USB memory storage, that would be good. I saw a 2200 milliamp hour USB, etc., in Sunday's paper for $15. Okay, another thing, just while I'm thinking about it, a big issue in this class, and frankly in every single other energy technology application you'll ever see, even if it's just building energy efficiency. I was just talking to Joe here, And you guys are putting insulation in the house you're building? Okay. So in every single energy technology we use, whether it's a house, a car, a battery, wind turbine, you name it, there's always going to be some upfront capital cost. So you guys probably went to the store, you bought some insulation, you kind of thought, well, gosh, if I spent more on insulation now, I would spend less on heat in the future. Every single problem comes down to that. The other concept that we're going to get into here in the second hour of the class is that money itself has a value. And I hope I can kind of keep cranking here through the next hour. It's been a long day, but what we'll find is that, and that's why Alan mentions this, that 220 milliamp hours for $15. We could then go back and say, how many dollars per megajoule is that? And is it really worth it? Because, oh my gosh, I could have, instead of spending, however many dollars per megajoule or dollars per milliamp hour on the battery, why wouldn't I have just purchased that from Northwestern Energy for 6 cents a kilowatt hour? Much cheaper. Well, so every single problem ends up being energy, money, and time. And that's hopefully we get our heads wrapped around that by the end of the semester. Okay. Convert all 10 items into kilowatt hours. Let's see if we got that. Kilowatt hours. Okay. It's not clear to me if you've actually done that here, Sean. I'm not going to necessarily tell you the answer, but what I would like to see. Oh, I think I see what you got here.
I think it's in the pink.
Yeah, okay. Total kilowatt hours per tank. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, so that looks like your kilowatt hours to BTU conversion factor. So what we're after is whether or not there are, in fact, 1,169 kilowatt hours in a tank of fuel. So actually, yeah, that looks good. That's the proper units. 0.18 kilowatt hours in a bucket. Okay. Do capitalize the W in kilowatt hours, please. Do not capitalize jug or kerosene. But yeah, this is looking right. It looks like you did get to kilowatt hours each time. So I'm not gonna. Well, I'll comment on a couple of these, but let's take a look. Okay. Spreadsheet. And if you want, yeah, this is a fun one too. We covered a lot of embodied energy. Well, I guess I covered it in recycling technology last fall. But if you want to do that, just while we're on the topic, embodied energy, you can come out. Wikipedia is fine for this one, and there's just a big old table here, and it's given in megajoules per kilogram. So this is the amount of energy that it takes to produce, well, a kilogram of marble, let's say. It's going to take you two megajoules to crank one out. I don't know exactly. Now, the issue I have with this website already is that marble from Montana? Is it marble from Italy? Did it have to get shipped? Was it cut? Was it polished? That number, I will guarantee you, is both right and wrong. It's going to be maybe right on average, but yeah, that's a tricky one. Anyway, feel free to use these numbers with the caveat that all marble is not created equally. If it's polished more, you're going to pump more energy into it. If you had to transport it more energy goes into it. If you were manufacturing it and you cracked half of it and got rid of half, then you can pretty much double the energy on that. So yeah,
I think he said in there you got to make some assumptions.
Yeah. Well, I guess they did that on the cellulose insulation. So, probably depending on the processing or where it came from. If the cellulose was, say, and this is a slippery slope too. If the cellulose was coming from virgin timber versus,
slash or something.
yeah, or even grocery bags. So the grocery bag already had some embodied energy, but if it was on its way to the dump, you might say, well, there's no more energy left in it. It's sort of zero because it was going to. So that's a tricky one. But anyway, and then this is a fun one too. I've done this before. Megajoules per square meter. The embodied energy on PV cells is pretty high. The unfairness here is that they've got it in different units. They don't have it in kilograms, but I'm not going to do it now, but maybe down the road we can convert that to megajoules per kilogram. Okay, so back to the assignment. Discussion 1. Oh, I do want to say this too. I think I shot it out in an email, but on the discussion board, especially when we get into the later weeks, let's just use like one thread per problem. So whoever gets in there first and wants to talk about problem 2, just call it problem 2, and that way all the problem 2 discussion is there, not in 5 different threads. Same thing. So each forum entry on a weekly basis will just have a problem number associated with it. Super. Okay. I like I like the way he set this up. It's actually pretty clean. So I don't mind. I'll just dive right into some of the work that Sean posted. I'll start from scratch, and well, actually, I'm going to follow my own rules and get a little pad going here. Oh, you know what? I'll do that after a quick commercial break because we're at 30 minutes. Also, I just want to let everybody know I'm going to try to keep each portion of the lecture to 30 minutes so the YouTube videos don't get too long. So we're right at 30 minutes. We'll call this, Lecture 1, Part 1, and coming up will be Lecture 2, Part 2. So I'll be right back with you.